Hello everyone, and welcome to my Minecraft test world. This video is mainly for the people on my server, but well, maybe help anyone else. This is to do with the mod Mekanism. It's a mod that seems to have replaced IC2 on the crackback, and well, basically this is the processing setup. That I've done. I've done it all in creative because I wanted to see how it worked and how well it worked. Okay, so I've got a 64 by 64 quarry here. Pretty simple, bog standard buildcraft. A little test hole. At the moment I'm just using creative energy cells. Ender chest on top, standard things. I've found that it's best to filter the items at your base because then you don't have to set up a filtering system at the quarry every time you move it. So this moves over here, and this is a complete mess. I'm sure everyone else can do a much better job tidying up, making this look neat. Right, before I get onto this, whoa. Okay, disabling the sound. That's better. Sorry, this is the first time I've heard those sounds, because I normally play with the sounds off. Anyway, the first thing you will need is sulfur. Now, in other tutorials it says that you need to have one of these, a injector. Oh, what's this? Let's have a look. Mechanism. It is a chemical injection chamber. This is an elite one. That's why it's got more slots. You put gunpowder in and it makes sulfur. The sulfur then goes into this and creates sulfur dioxide, which creates what does it make? You're going to show us anyway, so all that makes sulfuric acid, but instead of using gunpowder, you use a mob spawner, which is powered, which is from Mine Factory Reloaded, and the beginnings of that starts here with these creeper essence berry bush, or essence berry bush. You use a harvester, which I'm in creative, so it shouldn't blow up, hopefully not. You filter off the sludge into this, because as it harvests it creates sludge. And the berry bushes come along here and get put into a autonomous activator, into a sewer, which filters sewage into here, and the... You're gonna let me? No. Which filters the mob essence into here, and that goes into the mob spawner. Now you have a safari net with a creeper in it, and that will give you creepers, which will give you the items gunpowder, creeper heads, and sulfur. You get more sulfur than gunpowder, which is why I'm suggesting you use this instead of using the machine. Because you see this empty space, for this amount of gunpowder I've got that amount of sulfur, and the sulfur is going off into here, so as you see, quite a lot. Unfortunately it can only do one stack at a time, and I don't think you can put energy upgrades in. So okay, so this is a salination plant. It is a multi-block structure and can go from 3 to 18. I've got mine at 18. And it's basically 4 by 4 blocks on the bottom, and then I've got some valves. Gonna get some salination valves. Shoot, shouldn't have already done that, but I will. And it goes all the way up. Got 4 advanced solar generators on it. It's hollow, which you can't really see, and then you've got your controller. These aqueous accumulators are struggling to keep this thing filled with water. This will not work at night, and it will not work when it's raining. It will work best in the desert, and it won't work at all in snow biomes. So Phil, if you're planning to build one of these, you'll have to set up your processing in another biome, which kind of sucks, but you can't power it any other way. It has to be solar generation. So these create brine, which is fed into this tank. Now this is why I'm suggesting that we have, I'm going to say 4, because this isn't creating a backlog. This brine goes into this electrolytic separator, which you've got, I don't know, what is that? Let me open the wiki. I should have done this before, but oh well. So, so you got hydrogen and chlorine. They go into the chemical infuser, which makes a hydrogen chloride, which is then fed into this injector, chemical injector, yeah. Which is another reason why I found a way around using that other injector, because you would have to have 2 setups of this, because both injectors need hydrogen chloride, and this cannot power 2 machines. Basically, this is always kept full. If you split it off into another machine, it severely limits its productivity. Now, this thing is working. What you could do is you could set up this first, and then wait until you don't have to have a tank this big, but if you're doing a 64 by 64 quarry, you're going to have a lot of resources coming in. So what you could do, you could set it up first and then have this build up a backlog, then turn it on and create maybe a few gas tanks worth of hydrogen chloride, which then leads on to this, which is the quintupling stage. But first we need to, how do we get to there? So we go back to the sulfur dioxide, which is then pumped into, where's the sulfur dioxide? Sulfur dioxide plus oxygen goes into here, which creates sulfur trioxide. Sulfur trioxide goes into this chemical infuser with water vapor into this, which creates sulfuric acid. At the moment I'm feeding the things that need water, like the electrolytic separator and the rotary condensator from the salination plant. I would suggest having a separate source, because obviously this is leaching off this system. So as you can see, there's going to be a lot of crafting and a lot of kind of organisation and planning. I mean, this is basically going by the fly, trying to hook up to everything as I can. I mean, the power, I'm not saying it's tidy or anything, but anyway. So the sulfuric acid is pumped into this, the chemical dissolution chamber. This is where your ore goes first. As you can see, it can only do one ore at a time. Oh, sorry, one type of ore. So it creates this iron slurry, which then goes into the chemical washer and turned into clean slurry. Now, as you can see, this has got gold and lead in it, which is currently being turned into shards. So the clean slurry goes into here, and it's still finishing off the first batch of iron. So it's going to be chopping and changing. So if this thing, say, if it comes across a vein of iron, gold, and ore, so iron, gold, and lead, it's going to clog up the system, which is typical to any processor, but this processing is quite slow, because as it creates the crystals, they go off into the injector. I mean, you can have the basic one, you can have the advanced one, but yeah, so anyway, that then goes off into the processing, and you've quintupled your ores. Right. This system is very intense. I mean, the system we've got in the village is fine, but this, I'm thinking, not really endgame, but it's when you've got yourself really established. I'm thinking that you'd need one of these setups for each ore, because how annoying is it going to be to have maybe just have to wait. So at the minute I've just got these 7 ores going in, because I don't know if it processes the others. I mean, let me have a look. Okay, so these are the crystals. You've got iron, gold, osmium, copper, tin, silver, obsidian, lead. So it doesn't say anything about ferrous. That is not good at all. I just need to try something. Do we have any ferrous? Yes. Good. Oh, how do I say that? Can you clear that? No. Anyway, so I'll get back to you on see if it can do ferrous. But even the ores that it can't do, like aluminium, cinnabar, I think that's it. Oh, and yellowite. You're going to want a separate processing system for that, because it can't go through here. And if you put it all into the smelter, that's going to clog that smelter up. Now another concern is power. I've got these 8 solar generators powering this cube. Now it is enough, but when you start expanding this, well, for a start you're also going to need to expand this, so maybe 2 or 3 of these. Well, at least one of these for every line of this. And then you've got 4 of these. I mean, this thing is going to be pretty intense. And the easiest thing is this. I mean, when you've got a decent stockpile of sulfur, and the speaking of sulfur, you can also use the sulfur from railcraft that you find when you're mining. So I think we actually found some. Yes. It's ICBM, sorry. So you can use that as well, but as you saw, it can't accept multiples. So you're going to want to put a hopper on it and a chest. Yeah. I still don't know if you can autocraft these things. I don't know if you can put a assembly matrix or whatever thing from Applied Energistics is on top of one of the the machine, what is it called? That thing, the metallurgic infuser, to create the chipsets and whatnot. But yeah, hopefully that gives you guys an idea of what's involved. As I said, very pricey, very pricey. And as so far I found, you can't just hook up a pipe to this. It just didn't work. So you need a logistical sorter, which Dave, I think you've got a few of them. Hope this was interesting. Sorry for rambling, and I'll catch you guys on the server, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.